Dylan, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. This is going to be a serious situation because we do have this risk of tornadoes in a possible outbreak through the central part of the country here. We already have tornado watches in effect. Most likely these will be extended through the day as the storms increase in severity and increase in just how widespread they are. And there's also the possibility that some of these storms could last until midnight tonight. So nocturnal tornadoes are a possibility. Now, this is a rare high risk area for these severe storms from Paducah down to Memphis. We could see multiple long track storms that are EF3 in power or higher. So that is going to be a major concern. And even where we don't have the EF3 or higher tornadoes, we still have the threat of EF2 or higher tornadoes. That includes Ohio down through Indiana into Illinois, stretching all the way into extreme northeastern Texas. So this is going to be a major storm system. Tomorrow it weakens a bit, but still widespread storms are possible, basically from the interior northeast down to Texas, with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, hail 2 inches or more in diameter. And then as we go into Friday, we're still looking at that risk in the same part of the country. So areas that get hit hard today could once again get hit on Thursday or Friday as well. We also have a strong risk of extreme flooding. 15 inches or more of rain is possible. We'll get into this part of the story in more detail, but today the biggest threat is for those very powerful tornadoes. Savannah.
All right, Dylan, thank you. You put that in there just to troll me, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. You guys want to talk this out a little more?
We will in the commercial during your weather forecast.
We do have, besides this tornado outbreak, this very serious setup for today. We also have some heavy snow falling across the upper Midwest and the northern plains. We could see several inches of snow in that area, and also heavy rain possible through Michigan and some showers in the interior northeast. That's a look at the weather across the country. We'll get to your local forecast in the next 30 seconds. And that's your latest forecast.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Dylan. Still ahead this morning, as mentioned, is not here. Dylan is. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. You know, we talked about that severe weather outbreak that we're expecting, the tornado outbreak we're going to see. It's in this area in red. In addition to the risk of EF3 or stronger tornadoes, we also have an extreme risk of flooding. We are looking at several inches of rain because of this setup. It's a stalled setup, a pattern that's just bringing in that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and producing torrential rain over the same areas for about 3 to 4 days. So it's right in through here from Texas all the way up into Ohio, but especially here from Louisville into Nashville, down into Memphis and Paducah, where there is very strong wording coming out of the National Weather Service saying this is imminent and you need to take precautions now for extreme flooding with up to 15 inches of rain possible. This is once in a generation, perhaps even once in a lifetime types of flooding here. And we could see as much as 15 inches of rain in this area in the light pink. That's enough to cover the first floor and perhaps even go into the second floor of a home. So you have the one risk with the tornadoes telling you to go underground. Then you have the second risk of this flooding that's telling you to get above ground. So that is kind of our setup here. A very dangerous situation, especially from Paducah to Memphis, where up to 15 inches of rain is likely. That's a look at the weather across the country. Now here's a peek out your window. And that's your latest forecast.
All right, let's get our sneak peek.
All right, guys, let's get to our PopStart sneak. Is in for Al this morning. What are we looking at, D?
Good morning, guys. We are looking at a pretty dangerous situation across the middle of the country. We have tornado watches in effect, even some tornado warnings already popping up, these red boxes here. This is going to be a line of storms that only gets worse as we go into the afternoon and evening. Some tornadoes are even expected overnight up until about midnight or so. So those nocturnal tornadoes are very, very dangerous. We have this area in here, this high risk area from Paducah right down to Memphis, where we could see multiple long track tornadoes that stay on the ground for a long period of time. They could be EF3 or stronger. Also wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour. These storms are moving eastward at about 60 to 75 miles per hour. So hopefully that is enough time to get the warnings out and people can heed those warnings and get to safety. Even where we don't have the threat of the EF3 tornadoes, we still have a large threat of EF2 or stronger tornadoes from Ohio right down into eastern Texas. In addition to all of this severe weather, we also have the possibility of up to 15 inches of rain, perhaps, once in a lifetime type flooding in that area. So two very, very dangerous risks that will occur out ahead of this cold front. We also have some snow across the upper Midwest and the northern plains, a significant amount of snow and icing possible, something to think about there too. That's a look at the weather across the country. Now here's a peek out your window. And that's your latest forecast.
That was some forecast.
I got it all.
Can I ask a question? The nocturnal tornado,
Yes.
is that a coincidence that they're just at night, or is there something more
Most
to
of
it?
the time, the setup, the dynamics kind of ease once the sun sets, but this is so powerful, it's not going to do that.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
ominous.
Drop some more knowledge.
Thank you.
Let's go.
I figured it out.
Meteorologist
Oh, you
Dylan.
got all those seals.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's get to PopStart today. We're going to listen to music. It's a great conversation. You can check it out live at 1 p.m. Eastern on Apple Music, on Wax Off. And that's a crossover. I mean, seeing Jackie Chan in that universe, isn't that great?
Oh, okay.
I'm excited.
Remember we also
Like
about Happy Days?
Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley would
When
come
Ralph
on.
Malph was dating Laverne.
Oh my God,
mine was
the best. Okay, so it's like that.
Yeah, very
Or like when SVU and Criminal Minds.
Yes,
they all-
yes.
yes. Okay.
Yes.
All
No
right.
release date for that's so funny. Next up, it is Wednesday. You know, producers
What key?
of that show. Yeah, lots of young guys and girls. So hard. Yeah, you're on it all the time, Dylan. Yeah,
I
Kate
just
the
do, like,
Chemist is
little spots,
on.
and yeah, it's just really fun to be a part
The
of.
world's a complicated place, and they have a nice area now for kids to go to learn
Yeah.
about difficult topics. They do a
Really
great job.
great. Love that. Well, coming up next, how cool is this? The legendary